What's up guys, Icebreaker back with another sneak peek for you. Today we're going to be looking at Season 20. I'm going to be showing you the tech tree, the layouts, everything you need to know to plan your Season 20 strategy and hopefully get one of these bad boys. So stay tuned because we're going to do it right now. Okay then guys, before we go on, like I said, this is a sneak peek. That means I'm on the dev build. So don't ask me how I got a million diamonds because I just did. So let's jump into Season 20 then. When you first start off, this is the layout and what you will start with. You get 52 keys and 1,120 tokens. That's if you haven't played before and this is your first season. If you did play last season, you'll be glad to know that you will be getting 40% of your stars back. So there's no reset, there's no reduction in the stars you get to keep, none of that stuff. So yeah, let's jump in and I'll show you the deck layouts really quick. Like I said, is the 2ER layout, like we said. It's got the little single ramp. And then this is the 3ER layout, which is the slightly bigger ramp at the top. Slightly wider deck space and a bit more added on the back. 4ER has the two ramps, one at the front and a slightly bigger one again at the side. And then this is 5ER, which is going to be really interesting, this one I think, because of the distance between the front ramp and right at the very back of the deck there. Times could be quite tight, so keep an eye on that. Also you need to watch for is that issue where the troops will run past defences because they've targeted something else. You know what I'm talking about. That you need to watch out for that on this layout. People will be using that to their advantage, like me. And then 6ER is exactly the same deck layout. Not sure if this is a bug or not, but it's exactly the same. And then 7ER is deck space with the front ramp and a little ramp at the very back, and the one little hole there in the side. Let's take a look at the boosts and the chest rewards this season. So the boosts are 100% troop damage, 150% troop health, there's 50% building health and 100% building damage. There's also 200% GBE, which is cool. And then the chest rewards are, the upgrade tokens are the same as what you got last season. And the keys are slightly less. There's 13 keys for wood, 14 for stone, 15 for iron, 17 for gold, 21 for diamond and 26 for legendary. There's a few less keys there. It's probably because it is quite a short season. The season is going to start on March 1st and will run until the 21st, so it's only a 20-day season. So keep that in mind. That's probably why the keys and the tokens are set the way they are. Let's take a look at this season's tech tree. So to start off with, as always, we're going to get the gunboat and the landing crafts. We're also going to get the flare, which is great, but then we're going to get warriors as our first troop. The warrior guys are going to love that, but yeah, that's what we start out with. So starting off with then, to go on the top path, we've got troop health to start off with, followed by smoke. And then the first multi-node, which has 2 cannons, 2 machine guns and 2 snipers on. And below the smoke is the cannons. And then to the right of that is our Zookas. All of this is on a dead end path though, none of this stuff comes back to the ER, so all of this is going to cost you time and tech advantage throughout the season. So if you're going for Zookas and stuff, fine, but it's going to hold you back by the time you get to sort of mid 3ER, 4ER, everybody else is going to be 4 or 5 tech nodes ahead of you, so keep that in mind. Coming down on the bottom path then, below warriors, we've got our mines, and then riflemen, and then the 3rd ER. Immediately after the ER, we've got the good Dr. Kavan, and then above him we've got flamethrowers, and above that is building damage. To the right of building damage we have the heavies, which you know what that one means. To the right of the flamethrowers we have the shock bomb, and then below the shock bomb is troop damage. To the right of the heavies, I'll continue along the top path, we've got our next multi-node, which is 2 boom cannons, 2 machine guns and 2 flamethrowers. Below that we have GBE, and then below that is the boom cannons. To the right of our multi-node is mortars. Below that is rocket launchers, and below that is grenadiers. On the top path after mortars on a dead end node is brick for 42 keys on her. So you know what that means for 3ER with heavies and brick. You enjoy that heavy rush, guys. To the right of Grens we've got the engine for 4ER, and immediately after that is shock mines. And then to the right of shock mines is barrage. So just as you think that maybe shock mines is going to slow down the heavy rush, they go and give you barrage. And then above the barrage is building health, which is good, but it's not going to stop you barting out an ER and then rushing 2 or 3. Below barrage we've got the Gramps, the bombardiers. To the right of the bombardiers we've got troop health. To the right of the Barty we've got seekers. To the right of the building health we got our first proto node, which is a laser, a Simo and a hot pot. To the right of the seekers we've got another multi-node for 2 boom cannons, 2 snipers and 3 shock mines. Below that is boom mines, and above the shock mine multi-node is more GBE. To the right of the multi-node we've got our med kits, and to the right of GBE is the engine for 5ER, immediately followed by medics, and below the medics we have the rocket chopper. And below that we've got the shock launcher, and then to the left of the shock launcher we've got bullet for 48 keys, which is on a dead end tech path too, so it's going to cost you time and tech later on, like I said before. To the right of medics, continue along the top path, is troop damage. To the right of the rocket chopper is the tanks. Below the tanks we have another multi-node. This one's for protos, and this one's got a shock blaster, a sky shield and a boom surprise. To the right of that proto multi-node is the mechs. And to the right of the tanks is the engine for 6ER. Straight after that engine then we've got our arty bomb, and above that on a dead end tech path we've got Sparky for 56 keys, and then critters for 36. Underneath arty we've got the Scorcher, and to the right of the Scorcher we have another proto and a multi-node with a grappler, a shock blaster and a boom surprise. Above that we've got the heavy choppers, and above them we've got the cryos. To the right of the cryos on a multi-node we have 2 cannons, 2 mortars or 2 boom cannons. And to the right of that is another GBE node, again on a dead path. To the right of the heavy chops we've got 7th ER, and immediately below that is more GBE. And then to the right of that is another proto multi-node, and this one's got a damage amp, a micro and a doom cannon. Above that is a mines multi-node with 8 normal mines, 4 boom mines and 4 shock mines. And then to the right of that is yet another proto multi-node with a doom cannon, a flotty and a micro. And above that on the top path is building damage, and below the proto multi-node is the last node for troop health. So yeah, that's the full tech tree, guys. I think early on we're going to be looking at pushing straight through into 3 to grab heavies is going to be the quickest and cheapest path. It's also going to be most effective. I wouldn't bother with warriors. They'll be great for 2ER, but for 3ER, 4ER and onwards, they're just a waste of they're a waste of tokens, and they're already unlocked, which is good. But yeah, don't upgrade them. If you take that top route and go for Zookas, You could do rifles and Zookas at 2ER, which would probably be quite good, doing the split drop on that land on the 2ER map. But the meta going forward into 3 is definitely going to be heavy rush as always, or you could do maybe heavy Zookas with Kavan and second wind. There's another option. But then as it goes on into 4ER, we're going to be biting out ERs and rushing the rest, or doing split drops and biting. And then it's going to be Seekers or heavy Gramps with Kavan will probably take over the Seekers, because people will the bases that are anti-Seeker quite quick like they usually do. And with the introduction of shock mines there and the extra shock mines on the multi-node, we'll probably shut down Seekers quite early, I think, this season, but we'll see. And then moving on, we're going to get the rocket choppers, so that you might be getting some rocket choppers and some heavies, and then bullets there as well, perhaps. And then it will just end up being the usual, either heavy choppers and rocket choppers, or heavy choppers and Gramps, a couple of Seekers thrown in maybe. But yeah, it looks like a pretty standard season other than that. So yeah guys, I think that's pretty much it. That covers what this season looks like in terms of sneak peeks and layouts and tech tree and all that good stuff. I hope this video has given you some insight, and maybe you can come up with a plan that I can use for season 20, because I am going to go for a top 500 trophy, because I haven't got one and Martin has, so that can't be allowed to continue any longer. So I'm going to be doing that. We'll probably be streaming most of it again as always. But for this video guys, that's it. Make sure you smash our creator code, that's BBTFRG, in the creator boost box. We really appreciate that. Leave us a like, smash that subscribe, do all the YouTubey stuff, you know the score. I will catch you next time, and as always guys, happy shipping.